Why not? Yeah, sort of.
Everybody go home! There's nothing to see!
Hand the press a shovel.
Hoist up.
Come on, Blitzer. Come on, Riverwalk.
Archambault.
Courtesy of Mother Nature.
You know what?
Guys, don't forget to pass the truck. You want to get it back, please?
Everybody stop here. We're going to right here.
Keep going, everybody. Keep going. Keep going.
Put them out of here like animals. Get the cattle out. Above and beyond the
Stew ball. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Hi, sweetheart. About the same as you, I guess. If all presidents hold their position, please. All press hold their position, please.
We belong here.
Go back, please.
Yeah, okay.
I'll press back.
You got press over there, too.
No, those are. I'm sorry.
Lou, we are here at the corner of Fleur and Valley with the President of the United States. Mr. President, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Wolf.
You must have had some preconceived notions what to expect when you got here. Have they been met, exceeded?
Well, I had some preconceived ideas because I've been through some pretty tough flooding in my own state. But I have to tell you, I've never seen anything like this in terms of the public health issue. This is the biggest city to be without water completely, at least in my lifetime. And I've been very concerned about a lot of the health implications. But on the other hand, these people they haven't panicked. They've worked very hard together. There are literally thousands of them, as you see out here working, trying to help their friends and neighbors. And I think they're making the most of it. And I think that America wants to help them. And I think the Congress wants to help them. So we'll proceed to do what we can.
Well, you've come up with a nearly $2.5 billion aid package. That's almost more than double what you recommended only 10 days ago. Is this the end of it, or is this just the beginning?
No, but I want to go ahead and put the bill into Congress and start it moving through, because it'll take a couple of weeks to get it through. I think in 4 or 5 days we'll have new estimates of what the real losses are, and we may well have to revise that package upward. This is a very significant damage.
When you say revise it upward, another doubling of it, you think? Because Senator Harkin, as you know, thinks $5 billion might be more in the ballpark.
It may be, but we don't know. First, there are two different questions. What is the total damage, and then what is the total damage for which the federal government can reimburse under existing law? I also want to emphasize the fact that a lot of these losses, like the agricultural losses, the small business losses, they may be able to be handled with existing appropriations under existing law. So we want to make sure that we've got a real feel for what we can do with existing law and what the real losses are. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them revised upward in about 5 days.
Significantly.
Could be.
Now, tomorrow you're supposed to go up to Capitol Hill to meet with some members of the House and Senate, I take it, to discuss this issue or the whole G7 Tokyo summit?
Well, I will certainly give them a briefing on this issue, and I want to talk about what happened on our trip, or what happened at the Tokyo summit. and how important it is for us now to pass this budget. This is our part of the bargain. We got a new trade agreement with Japan. We've got an agreement to lower tariffs historically with the other major industrialized countries. We're trying to restore growth to the world economy, but to do it, we've got to bring the American budget deficit down too.
You come to this area, helicopters are flying overhead, even as we speak, you see the devastation. The G7 summit must seem like 100 years ago, doesn't it?
It's a long way away, but you know, the purpose of those high-flown summits is to affect the lives of people like the folks on this street for the better. So in a way, it's a good way to come home, and I should be here.
Now, as a former governor, you seem to be so comfortable dealing with these natural disaster type of situations. You get really immersed into it right away. Am I wrong? Is that just my impression?
No, you're right.
In certain areas you seem uncomfortable, but in this kind of area you seem very comfortable.
Well, I think in every new job there's a learning curve, but I don't have much of one here. I mean, most people who would become president, who would come out of the Congress, for example, might not have anything like the experience that I've had dealing with disasters. But my state, on a per capita basis, suffers from tornadoes more than any other. We've had major floods. We've had huge droughts. I've dealt with a lot of these, and I know what's been wrong in the past, and I'm glad that a lot of people think we're trying to put it right here. I feel good about it.
You're going to go back to Washington tonight. Any plans to come back to this area, visit other devastated areas in the Midwest?
Well, I don't want to rule it in or out. I've got to go back and see where we are, first of all, on the aid package, and secondly, where we are with the budget negotiations. And thirdly, where we are with dealing with the states and the localities. That's the big issue. That's the thing we're trying to do a better job of, make sure everybody's sort of on board and we're all doing things together, singing out of the same hymnal, and I wouldn't rule it out, but I don't want to commit yet. I got to go back and see what the job is, what we have to do in Washington.
And on top of everything else, this week the Pentagon's supposed to give you its recommendation on the whole issue of gays in the military.
They are.
What's your sense? Is it falling into place right now?
My sense is there's still some difference of opinion, even among the service chiefs, about what they want, but I hope they'll come up with something that everyone can agree is fair and that we can all live with. We'll just have to see.
How much after you get that recommendation do you think you will finally act on some decision?
Oh, I won't take long.
It won't take long?
No, I won't take long.
Have you basically made up your mind already?
Well, I want to see what they say first. I think they're still debating it a little among themselves, and I want to see what they say.
Okay, Mr. President, thank you very much once again for joining us.
Thank you.
Pretty devastated area.
It is.
Back to Lou Waters.
Thanks. To Lou Waters? Low Waters.
That's right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed the trip. I thought it was fun.
It was a good trip, but I must say, yes.
Didn't you think it was an interesting trip?
It was an interesting trip.
I came on the Mississippi River. It's as much as 3 miles wide and 6 inches deep. So we have to be somewhat careful about how that is. We don't want to have a lot of water in the Mississippi. It's all about that well, it won't affect the bill that we're passing about this month. All that will be. That's the way it's all working. There's no honest history of the old good news is the deficit this year is $1 billion. That's the problem.
Guys, just give him some room. Tracy! Guys, come on! You gotta move! Guys, you gotta move with him.
This is their show.
It's not their show. If he gets hurt, they can't get him out.
I hate to say this, you're kind of in the way on this one. I'm sorry. I'm gonna kick White House TV. So this is a CBS. Come on, get some buffer.
Don't forget about it, Mr. President. We need some help.
question about it. He was, after all, a locally elected official, and he went through this kind of thing in Arkansas. And I think we got a pretty good feel for it. So we want those who can make a contribution to do so. We don't want it to keep aging going.
Do you agree or not agree that originally it was never an intention that federal aid would make people whole in circumstances, to return them to previous? People now seem to have an expectation that the government can do that.
Well, I don't think they necessarily think it can make them whole. But I do think that, as I said, a lot of these things, for example, Small Business Administration can give low interest loans to help put people back on their feet. They can't just write a check for what they lost. The crop insurance program is actually effective. It was supposed to make some people whole because they paid for insurance that won't. So this won't be perfect.
Thanks for calling. Keep up your courage, Bill. Grab a bag, Bill. Souvenir.
Purple and white.
Well, that'll work.